What's up, everybody? Showtime is Blazer King with King's Critiques. And small note, I'm still not feeling the best. My throat and stuff is still hurting. But I at least bought lozenges, so, hopefully I won't cough abruptly and have to, pause the episode and mute my microphone and all that jazz. So hopefully I'm right, and the thing that's currently in my mouth against the roof will be good enough to suffice throughout the episode. But, of course, a little catch-up. Last episode, we discovered that the girls were not the only ones of themselves who exist. So now, the main and primary question is, which group are real? Because there's a lot of pods circulating the area they're in that are also clones of the, 4 girls. I don't see any extra copies of the new girl, Yuri, or Ren, but there are extra copies of all of the others. So, who's real and who's not? Hopefully we find out. But that being said, let me know your thoughts of the series thus far before these girls get into quite another bit of craziness, because I think the Wild Hunt are attacking them in their current location, even though they're not supposed to be doing that. Hit like, subscribe, let the whole video through to let me get the watch time if you're not going to have conversations, because that'd be much appreciated. That being said, let's get into it. Also, can I just say that I like the fact that they used kind of video game logic to make the clones of the girls similar but different colored outfits. That's actually something you haven't seen in a long time that I kind of appreciate. Alright, plus this thing where they kind of ran into the AI after teleporting into that realm. Which, I guess, technically the ones who teleported into the AI realm would be the real ones, logically, right? Honestly, I was waiting for her to be like, I can tell you, I'm not going to, but I could. And there are my fans going off like a fucking jet rocket for no reason. If anyone's owned an Alienware computer, let me know, what the fuck is that about? Well then, why are they on Earth? That probably ran dry pretty quickly. Hey, when you give her the personality of someone, of course their art style is going to convey through that someone. Oh. So the copies were originally meant to help the Wild Hunt in fucking killing everybody, and then a handful rebelled. Okay, but I was about to go into that, Sazanka. Wouldn't that mean technically they're the originals because they're not trying to kill humanity? Or are they the copies who, like I said, just rebelled? I'm gonna go with the only copy there, though, is Ren, because she has that whole Wild Hunt healing thing going on. Oh, so it is every single one of them. So that means some of them did gain their own sentience along the way. That's probably the wildest take on this, honestly. The Aerie copy was going to take out her own family, but decided against it when she was about to commit. So, yeah, they went against their original programming because they still tapped into the feelings, emotions, and memories of the originals. But what about all the extra copies? Did they just, get brought back in other than the ones that were already in the original beings' homes and get put back into stasis? Is that where that's going? Well, I can answer that first question. That first question is answered by the brunette standing to your right. Left? Directionals. Are you sure? That seems like the plot of a lot of movies. But I imagine in the next couple of episodes we'll probably get that information about who started all of this. I would hope, because I do hate when things are left completely unanswered. Again, then why are you on Earth? Then again, if they started in Japan, I guess that kind of makes sense, because, the intelligence level is quite significant. So does that mean Group B is the real ones? I suppose that's what I could be led to believe based on how she's telling this. Because, again, Yuri, this girl, Ren, doesn't seem to have any copies around. Yes, but here's the thing. If y'all snap back into that kind of mindset, that means you won't have to remember you're doing it. Smile. So basically, now that I've told you about them, they're under threat. So good luck with that. Yeah, honestly, that's one of the most important questions, is who is Ren? Because Ren doesn't have a copy, she doesn't have a clone, her sister remembers her, but she has the healing factor of a wild hunt. So, okay, so she herself is human, just given wild hunt abilities, or... Okay, but that still doesn't answer the fact of her sister seeing her die before. So, like, did she not die and just was buried and then woke back up later? Or... Okay, so I guess that explains why her Invari was turning dark the more she used it, kind of like, yeah, one of the magical girl gems that they use in Madoka. Every time it turns darker, she's leaning more of the evil side of things to become a witch. So maybe it's kind of similar here, where if the Anvari completely shatters, her body will just drop. But unfortunately, she's the main character, so she's either going to have to use her powers until she dies, or ascend. And I don't mean in the dying factor, I mean ascend to a similar godly status as those things mentioned earlier. I love she needs to keep reminding the AI that she's being hacked and she needs to answer shit. But now you all might fucking die. Oh, of course he is. Why not? Well, we'll fill you in, but first off, you two need to, all of you need to follow us because you might fucking die if you stay here. At least that tells the four there with Yuri and, yeah, the four there with Yuri and Noreen that, they're the real ones. Hey, you need to eat to have energy to move, right? I'm sorry, that's just funny. Like, she's going through all this depressing shit in her mind, and she's just like, fuck it, I can still cook! Okay, it is a preview for the next one. Man, like, what is it with the past week of most of the shows I've been watching being so bloody emotional? Like, fuck. Because, like, let's recap from the technical start of the week of anime that we watch. Like, ReZero for the past 2 weeks has been pretty emotional between Garfield protecting his family and the Austria family having their issues. You know, fucking Dr. Emiku was pretty emotional last week because the whole, you know, kid with cancer thing. This has been emotional the past week or two because of this whole thing of who's real and who's not. Which, at least we have an answer to that much. Like, Ren has always been human. Still doesn't explain what happened when her sister saw her die, but suppose we'll come back to that at some other point. It's the group who was with Yuri and Noreen were the real ones, but does that mean the Noreen that was with Ren originally was the fake? I'm assuming that's the case. We have Guild Receptionist hasn't really had anything overly emotional aside from Alina's sheer disappointment in the last episode. Solo Leveling also hasn't been really emotional other than when, you know, Jinwoo took back his mother, and that was a few weeks ago, but I guess it still kind of counts, right? Fucking Beheneko, not really emotional either. Well, okay, maybe. We haven't really had any important people die in that yet, but I could totally see it happening in the next episode or two. So, yeah, okay, most of the shows have been pretty emotional the last week or two, but at least the Saturday shows have been kind of... Friday, the weekend shows, we'll put it. Those have been kind of lower tier in that regard. But, like, okay, we have 2 episodes left of the series, probably. So I suppose the questions we'll leave off on, other than, you know, y'all giving your opinions to what is going to happen, at least answer-wise for what we haven't gotten answers to yet, is how is Ren going to go down? Like, because there's obviously the answer of Ren's going to go down, in the style that she's told. She's going to use her Andvari to help fight that final battle against Balor and give everything she's got and die. Or she's going to use her Andvari, give everything she has in the fight, but instead of dying, the 4 clones that have been with her the entire time sacrifice themselves. Let their Andvari absorb into hers so she can get stronger and survive. Or, the third option, the Andvari she was given was the closest related to those alien creatures that decided the fate of Earth, which, again, whenever aliens come to Earth looking to assimilate and erase intelligent life, man, they're probably quite disappointed. Anyway, my point of going to that is, she does her thing, and Madoka effect. She ascends what she's supposed to be long enough to beat Balor. Balor, the Demon King. So, what would make sense to fight against someone who's coded like that, other than to basically become an angelic being? Maybe not God herself, maybe not that kind of thing like in Madoka, but the closest thing too. Those are my 3 opinions. Y'all can share yours in the comment section down below, of course, as well as about any other shows, movies, etc. I should check out this season, next season, or in general. But I'm gonna stop theorizing before I cry anymore, because, me shedding this many tears is kind of wild. But, that being said, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the gaming channel, ring both bells, like Facebook, follow Twitter and Blue Sky, keep updated with things, TikTok, Patreon, where you get the full unedited visuals and audio of the stuff upload here, even though I'm super behind on uploading over there, but doesn't matter right now, I guess. Check out the playlist here, let it run, watch stuff, doesn't matter, help me get the watch time, it's much appreciated, as would be checking out the video here that is either the one YouTube recommends to you, or the one that's the big video of the cut-up one I upload. And that all being said, it's been the Blazer King with King's Critiques, out, ta-ta for now. Peace.